Good mid-afternoon, YouTube. I'm here with the R1 project because I just got my brand new tires in. This guy in the front and this giant 150 wide for the rear. So let's start by taking off my wheels. So this is a 2001 R1 Yamaha. So we're going to start by taking the brake calipers off. We'll be using a 12mm socket for that. They're just coming off real easy because I actually just had them off. There we go. Put the bolts somewhere you're not going to lose them. Now with the caliper, you don't want to just let it dangle on the brake line. That's not a good idea. So I keep it right up here on the reserve tank. Now when you have your fairings in place, that probably isn't an option. So just find somewhere to keep it so the weight's off the brake line. Next up, you'll be doing the same thing, taking the caliper off the other side. I've already got that done. We're going to be removing the pinch bolt off of the front of this fork. For that, we'll be using a number 9 Allen socket. Doesn't need to come all the way out, just off. Next up, we're going to need a special socket to get the axle out. Now, I actually have a pretty decent tool selection and I don't have that socket. So what, am I euchred now? Not exactly. If your garage is like mine, you probably have a whole bunch of bolts and nuts lying around, and I find that this combination here, this is a 19mm with one nut right on it. The bolt and nut combo will slide right into here, and it'll go as deep as it can while leaving some sticking out. You get your breaker bar with a 19mm, obviously. Fit it to the end of that. It's going to be tight. Expect a bit of a fight. Mine's not super tight, I just had it off too, so there you go. I don't know how much that socket costs, the right one, but yeah, I'm sure it's not cheap. It's starting to come out already. Mine was well greased, so it's just coming out by hand. That's nice and easy. I think that's as far as she'll go. Scoop. And grab your tire from on top because... Oh, I gotta put my foot under it. Hold on. Sorry, I should have done this to begin with. Put your foot under her. Comes your axle. And there comes your tire. I'm going to have to spend money on an extra special socket for that. This works perfect. So unfortunately my battery died just as I got everything in place to start removing the rear tire. Now in my opinion the rear wheel is actually the easier one. First you'll need to remove the rear axle nut with a 32mm socket or 1 1/4 inch. They're both exactly the same. It'll be tight, so use your breaker bar, spec'd at 105 foot-pounds. Next, loosen the chain tensioner bolts on each side of the swing arm with a 12mm wrench until the chain is loose enough to take off. I like to keep pressure on the chain so I know I'm going the right way. Then gently tap the axle out using a hammer and a long enough ratchet extension. I used the butt end of my breaker bar and it worked just fine. After that, you're ready to take the wheel off. Thanks for watching Bogey Wheels. You're watching Bogey Wheels! And there we go. Euchred no more.